This is
like sought after. And
put it this way. You know how the XY's here? Everyone wants to copy XY. Everyone's trying to fake an XY.
Yeah,
that's what this is in the States.
right.
This is the most replicated car in America.
G'day mates, how's it going? I'm Mr. GT, welcome to the channel. Today you find me with my mate John, who has this special Z28 Camaro. I told us about it a couple of videos ago that we were going to do a special feature on this car. It is a special car. John's going to tell us all about it. We're going to do a feature, full feature. So grab that nice ice cold beer, sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Okay ladies and gents, John, good morning sir. How you going?
George. Thank you.
Very nice to be here with you.
Thank you for being here,
do a
George.
feature on this magic beast. Tell us a bit about it, brother. What exactly is it?
It's a 1969 Z28 Camaro. It is a car that was specifically built for racing, TransAm racing. They were very popular in the day. They sold quite a few of them.
Yep.
They're not low production, they're a mass production, but it's against the odds of the norm, where everyone thinks that rarity is only small numbers. These were that collectible back then, or that popular, that they still are today, and they're fetching, you know.
Is there many of these in Australia?
Not that I know of. There is a few that don't have full running gear, but they have been documented with the trim plates and the VINs. Very hard to decode these cars unless you know what you're looking for. There's a lot of hidden numbers. Transmissions have chassis numbers on them. Blocks have got chassis numbers on them. There's a lot of technical behind it. If you don't know, you can easily get done up with these cars.
Right, to get a fake.
To get a fake, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Let's go around the car a little bit. So, is this stock, how they come out? The body, we'll talk about body first. So
Correct. The early ones, the front spoiler, back spoiler were optioned. From about April onwards, they became a standard feature. So on the trim tag would have a D80 stating front and back spoiler.
Okay. Mad. Have you restored the car?
We have. We bought the car
The body?
2001.
Yep, 2001.
It was very tired. We bought it from an owner that owned the car for many years. It's supposedly been in the country from virtually 1970.
Okay, so you bought it in Australia from...
I didn't buy it. The person brought it over, so I'm trying to find out whether it was dealer imported or was private imported. That's what we're trying to establish. But
oh, right.
when you're doing the trying to get the import papers, they didn't have anything pre-85. So we got the details. They're saying to us they don't have any details because this car was brought in before that.
Right.
So it backs up all the story with the previous person and everything else. Yeah.
Mad. Mate, look at the paint on it. It's beautiful, huh?
It is painted in acrylic.
Nice and thick.
It's
shiny.
acrylic. We didn't do 2-pack because these cars were acrylic from factory. We painted it 21 years ago. 21 years ago.
This paint here has been
This
20
right.
years old, is
20
it?
years old plus.
Mate,
yeah.
that's fantastic.
So we
Look at it.
it. 2002. We painted
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Still in incredible nick, brother. Looks like it just come off
We
the
were
gun
originally
now.
doing it as a concourse car, but then temptation to drive it
Yeah.
overtook. So when it becomes a daily driver, that's what it is. You can't. A concourse car in America is you don't drive them at all. They're restored to everything, and not using catalog parts. Like
Crazy,
we've
man.
used the 85% of the parts are on the car. We restored and put back on the car.
Mate, I love the shape of these things too, man. Like they really nailed it with this Camaro. The shape's beautiful.
Look,
Chevy.
I love all pre-70 cars that were Trans Am cars, be it Shelby, be it Boss Mustang, or Camaro.
Yeah.
Basically, like the Phase 3s here, they were the cars that you virtually bought on the showroom floor, what raced. From 70 onwards, they changed.
Yeah.
So this motor wasn't available in 1970.
Right.
The 70 cars got the LT1, which is a 350 motor. Still a very good motor, basically the same, but this one's got a shorter stroke compared to the 350. Yeah.
Yeah, going on those shapes that you were talking about, I think that the Charger that was in Fast and the Furious, like Toretto's one,
Yes.
that and this is my favourite shape. It's very, very hard for me to choose like between the two. I think this shape here and that shape were the meanest looking shape produce for any muscle car.
Both cars, Chargers are beautiful. We love them. My brother had a '66 Hemi Charger.
Yep.
He brought from the States. Both are beautiful. The difference, the Charger was built for NASCAR racing. So it was a different type of form of racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like what we have our races here,
Yep.
the D class and all that, where we did our, like circuit racing and Bathurst and all that. This is what this was based on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at a few. I'll just try and get a little bit of the front there. But we will, when we get it out,
These were optioned with a RS option, which was the hideaway lights. This one didn't come out with that. It wasn't ordered that way. But we built the engine back to factory specs, except for the electronic ignition. I thought just because of the fuels now, these are run 11-to-1 compression, so
it's quite a bit, mate.
we thought we'd just run the electronic. I've got the original distributor. We've kept that. Anything we didn't use back on the car, we've kept in boxes.
Mad.
So we've replaced with new old stock, you know what I mean?
Yep. So, tell us a bit about the engine, brother.
The engine is supposed to be one of the hottest, most highly tuned small blocks ever built. So just to give you an example, the Bathurst 350s, love them. They're a beautiful car. But when you look at the engines, imagine having a Bathurst 350 with a 4-bar main, having it with forged steel crank, having it with forged domed 11-to-1 compression pistons, solid lifter, high lifter cam, factory aluminium manifold, 780 Holly carby, dual fed.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and the big heads. So this has got the 20216 valve heads.
Magic.
So we didn't get those on our engines here.
Exhaust?
Exhaust.
Got the extractors, obviously.
None of them. You could order the extractors when you ordered the option.
Yeah.
And
So
it came through.
option, yeah.
They came on the production line in the boot, but they never were installed on the factory.
Oh, right.
So you install them afterwards, but they all these, even a lot of the rare performance cars, actually none of them came out with extractors.
Oh, wow.
They were all standard exhaust manifolds.
Okay.
And then, but this was option with the extractors, so yeah, people put them on.
Put them on, yeah.
I put them on because it's been right-hand drive.
Yeah.
It's with the steering, it's a little bit awkward. And plus, I didn't have, when I bought the car, we didn't have the original exhaust manifolds. So we just left it with extractors on them.
Nice. Oh, we'll get a bit better performance.
Well, they need to
2.8,
breathe.
obviously.
They
need to breathe, yeah.
Performance car, big block, small block.
Yeah,
You
the
choke them
extractors,
if you
mate.
don't have extractors on them, yeah, 100%.
Sick. So this has got, obviously, to distinguish some different badging on it, eh? Like you've got the Z28 badge here,
Z28s, yes.
the 302 badge over there.
Correct. The bonnet, what we call the ZL2 bonnet, ZL2, they only came out on the 69. It didn't come out on 67s, didn't come out on 68s.
Okay.
And the other thing is that only 10,000 cars in 69 came out with that bonnet.
With that bonnet.
243,000 were built. Only 10,000 came out, and that was shared between the big blocks, the Copo cars, the Z01s, the Pace cars, which is the Z10s, Z11s, and the Z28s.
Mate, that little badge there
Yes.
just gives it a nice touch. I love that there. And, you know, like, they made it only for the 67 cars to have.
No, only 69.
Oh, the 69, I should say.
This bonnet was only based
Only
for 69.
yeah, sorry, mate.
67,
Dementia
68s.
setting in.
67, 68s didn't have it. 67, they built 602 cars, Z28s. They weren't even featured, they weren't even advertised.
Right.
When they first came out, it was only for the races.
Yeah.
Word caught on. In 79, they built 7,199 cars. They originally had the Z28 badges, and then later they got the 302 at the front, the 68s. And then the 69s, they throw the Z28 badges on the guards, on the front grille, on the back. So,
this little touch here, because I know these are always model specific.
These with the chrome molds and the seal only came out on X33 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the X33 is what they call the style trimming.
Yep.
That's what they got. The X77 cars were plain, so they didn't get the molding. And pre-December 68, they didn't have an X code on the trim tag. So unless you had documentation, you had the protector plate.
Yeah.
and the original motor in there, you couldn't tell. So if the original motor was missing and you didn't have documentation, you couldn't tell it was a Z28.
Right.
Same as 68, for instance. 68 is the worst car to document. It doesn't have nothing unless you have protected plates and documentation. 67 is the best. It'll tell you on the tag that it's a Z28. It'll tell you if it's a big block, small block. 69, there's half the information there.
And again here, the Camaro badge being there instead of like in a different position, were they all there or
they were there?
Special?
They were there. But this guy here now, what we haven't finished off is put in the original. This is original vinyl roof car.
Oh, okay.
So we haven't put the vinyl roof because when we got it, they already took the pins off. And you know, everything that's on the car is all original parts, like molds and all that.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of reproductions.
What colour is the
Black.
vinyl? Oh, it's black.
It's
okay.
black,
yeah.
And then the black stripes will go on the back and the bonnet. But I haven't done that because I'm debating whether putting my original bonnet back on. Because like I said, only 10,000 cars came out. This wasn't one of the 10,000. This was a flat bonnet car, which I've got the original bonnet, and they're all date coded, same as every other panel. Once I paint that one and put it back on, then I'll put the stripes.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course the Z28.
And they're the
badge
original
on the back.
badges. I put the original badge on because I realised with the new old stock, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And because I kept everything, I checked it because I deal with a lot of people overseas, and we realised the difference, and I put my original badges back on now.
Crazy, man.
Look underneath what it's like underneath.
Hold on, because the hold on a sec. Let that black thing go, and I'll just edit that part. Are we saying anything? Let me see.
I can see something in there.
Check out underneath, ladies and gents. Now that's wild. Well, from 21 years ago. That's wild. How about inside? Let's have a look at the interior. Have we finished the exterior? Is there anything else? Actually wheels,
wheels,
cover the wheels.
Another thing with the Z28s, 67, 68 and 69, they're the only Camaros that came out 15-inch wheels.
All right, 15s.
15s,
Mad.
yeah. Everything else came out with 14s, where there was a big block, small block.
Yeah.
And 67, 68, they got 15 by 6s. These are 15 by 7s.
All round?
All round.
Yeah.
And then the Camaros in 69, they got the 15 by 8s.
Right.
So, yeah, so they're original dress trims, original hubcaps, and they're also day coded to the car. So what they call a YH. The early ones were AD. These are YH wheels, so genuine YH wheels on them. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I think we did cover the exterior. Let's have a look inside, brother. Open the door and beautiful, mate. Give everybody an overview, and then we'll go through whatever, like if there's anything special in here that distinguishes and that.
The interior, you can order them with the standard trim, which were different door trims, and the standard like a vinyl seats.
Yeah, vinyl seats.
Then you can order them with the comfort width or the houndstooth interior.
Right.
In order to get the houndstooth, you have to order with the deluxe trims, which is what this is, and then you get all your wool paneling as well.
Okay.
And you get your rosewood steering wheel.
Yep, there's the wood paneling down there. We are going to go for a drive in this later, ladies and gents, so I'll give you a better look at the dash and all that inside later, but just to get a bit of an idea. Mate, that's nice. I like the yellow and the black, like it's, and the brown, you know, like the wood, the touch, it gives it a nice contrast. It's beautiful, mate.
It is. This wasn't a very popular colour back then, like the interior. It was part of the second part of the year of production. It wasn't that many built. There was about 150 cars, they reckon, out of the 253,000 built. And they reckon there's as least as anywhere between 5 and 10 Z28s built.
Yeah.
And then it depends whether they've got vinyl roof, what transmission they got, like only came out manual.
Well, if you look at today's cars, most of them are grey, black, white on the road. And back then, you know, like these colourful cars, I didn't appreciate them the way we're appreciating them today. So these standout colours, well, to me, in my opinion, they're the best. Like I said, the contrast, and you know, you said they weren't that popular, but to me, now I appreciate it more than when we were growing up with these cars.
Yeah, yeah. So you could buy a blue car with blue interior, you can get a red car with red interior, you got the yellow. The yellow unfortunately wasn't as popular.
Yeah, but it's a mad standout colour these days, mate.
It is different now.
It stands out, mate. I love it.
Yeah. The interior, the back seats are the genuine seats. These are the original seats that were in the car from new.
Yep. Oh,
the
mate,
seat
they're in
belts,
mad condition.
the door trims, the front seats. We've got the frame is original. So these are all day-colored.
Oh, bullshit! Is how they come out?
They're the genuine.
Okay.
Yeah. And even I ended up buying new old stock.
Yep.
I ended up putting my original scuff plates because they're actually riveted, and the new old stock aren't. So I've got the ones here, and I put them in there when we first done it. And then I took them back out and put my original ones on. Oh, so there's back here, they're riveted. So that's how you tell the genuine ones. So I thought they're not shiny, but I just want to have all original parts in the car.
Sick.
You know?
Crazy. Oh, I love it, brother. I love these things. All right, we were talking about the colour earlier and how it stands out, and I love it. What's the name of the colour?
It's called Daytona Yellow.
Daytona Yellow.
Daytona Yellow.
That's a sick name.
Yeah. There's three versions of this, because when they ran out of the vats, they done it so you can get let's just say, depending on when the car was built in that period of year, you can put one Daytona Yellow next to another, and you're going to have a variance. Because they ran out. So it's one of many colours they brought out back then, a lot of pastel colours. For me, I don't have a preference, I never have with any car. I just look at what the car is, whether it's a black car, brown car, blue car, white car, it doesn't matter, as long as it's, you know, this happened to be a yellow car. Yeah. And I thought, well, when am I going to find another one here?
Exactly.
So, you know, it's here.
That's it.
You know, for me, colour's not important. You know, whether it's a GT as well, HO, I don't care what colour it is. People don't like brown. If it's a GT that's all original, mate, it is what it is.
Back then, we didn't like them, but now we love them. Now, I take any colour myself.
Yeah, I'm not into colours or things like that, you know. For me, I look at the car itself, what it was built for, and whether
back then all the colours were nicer. I like the plastic look, that plastic colour look, which this has.
Well, this is the pastel, but as I said, this is acrylic. I think cars in the old days, they were painted acrylic. Later on in the, you know, I think early mid-90s, they were two-pack from factory, but I remember when I went to a couple of shows here in the late 70s, early 80s, they used to call it custom paint jobs back then, the two-pack. Used to offer that. And then it came out on production.
I remember when Street Machine magazine started talking about it when they first came out. Yes.
Yeah. But everything was acrylic. They're good paint. Obviously, they're easier prone to get scratched, but these days they're all locked up.
So, how about giving it a nice cold starter?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a listen to the beast, ladies and gents. Set that, ladies and gents. What a sound! Woohoo! Yes, sir. Mate, that's got a sick idle to it, brother. Sick idle.
Oh, it should be able to let it go and warm up once.
Yeah. Listen to that, just purrs, mate. The motor nice and quiet, beautiful. The motor, beautiful, mate. But you know what? It's tuned. I can hear that the nippers are tuned. They're not that noisy as you like, you know, when they need adjusting.
But you're correct, but we haven't actually tuned it 100%, so we still need to do the fine tuning to get it run better, but it runs quite good.
Yeah. Beautiful, mate. Fantastic. Love it. Listen to that, ladies and gents. Some music to my ears. Right, the moment of truth, ladies and gents. We're going to go for a wrap in it. Love the re-spoiler on the back there. Look at that nice front end, eh? So I'll give you a bit of a look. We'll go right around it. Mate, I love the front end. Like the grill, that would be something special, like distinguishing again, eh?
That was the standard. You could order with the RS option, which is the hideaway lights.
Okay.
But that's the way standard. That's the way they race with this front.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And you've got spotlights on the front, on the bottom there too, eh?
They're indicators, parkers and indicators.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So they're the parkers.
Beautiful. Let's give you another. Mate, I love the touch here on the badge, and there's the other one on the other side too. I'll show you it as we go around.
That's factory glass again, authenticated to the car, and you can see the green tinge, which is the
yeah, there is a green tinge to it. Yeah.
So all the bolts, all the glass is it's all original to the car.
Shit, brother. Mate, listen to the idle. That's it. Oh, damn. Beautiful. And the badge on this side. So the engine's to factory specs,
all factory specs, not modified.
Fantastic.
It's all standard as you would have bought it from the factory.
Yep.
That's
Well, we'll go through the figures once we get in the car and go for a drive. But yeah, let's have another look over here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lovely door cards. Give you a bit of a look at the back. Actually, we can do the opposite side.
The front seats have been
beautiful.
They've got new skins on them.
Yeah.
The backs are the genuine seats. You know, you buy them. I've got the back seats up on
Oh,
top.
right.
So these are bought. They redo the front.
And then just fits them in for you.
Yeah, we fitted them up. But the back seats and the door trims, they're actually original. Carpets and hood lining we've changed. Everything else was on the car. That's the way it was rolled off the production.
Man. Alright. Well, there's the rings and the front. And let's jump in. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Beautiful. Yep, right, we're in, ladies and gents. Look at the bonnet, mate. I love the shape. Looking out. And you've got that bulge in the centre. That looks sick. Alright, ladies and gents, we're in the beast. Listen to that music. Just cruising along. What are we doing? 40k, 30k?
We're doing about 50 odd now.
Mate, beautiful. Love the bonnet. And then that bulge in the centre. Oh, mate, it makes you feel like you're in a beefy car. Got the magic dashboard. Got the badge here. That's a beautiful dashboard. I love these gauges over here, showing the volts, fuel, oil, temperature. Sick. Mate, even from back then, 1969. Wild. Oh, shifter. The Hurst.
Factory Hurst, but the original ones, they came out with the knob, the chrome knob. But because it was a feature they used on the Pontiacs back then, the Mustangs got in 1970. A lot of people actually opted for that one. So that was from back in the day, and I've just left it on the car.
Man. Beautiful headline. You've got the sun visors, nice and slim, and you've got a slim windscreen. Beautiful,
yeah.
I love the little tinge of blue that it's got there as well. Very nice. So, tell us a bit about the motor, brother. Like, what are the specs on these?
These.
This is stock.
That's
You brought
stock.
back the stock factory. What they
Correct,
come out.
correct. Because I used like these, the pulleys on these for starters. They're what they call deep groove pulleys. Because these things were revving. You can buy it off the factory floor. You can rev it to 8,000 RPM.
8,000 revs.
8,000 revs.
My Lord.
So what happens is the reason I put deep groove pulleys is otherwise you'll be spinning the belts. They'll be spinning off. So these have got the grip.
8,000 revs. Jeez.
And the other thing is too is that all pulleys are numbered, part numbered. So for each motor, you'll have the pulley. So these pulleys are for this engine.
Man, jeez, that sounds sick there. So, 8,000 revs, mate. Where's the power? The power coming, like, to get the power, you've got to be in the high rev range.
Yeah. These don't like driving low in low speeds. It loves it being up high, but unfortunately we don't have the roads here to keep it up in that.
Yeah.
So I occasionally take it to 5.5, just a couple of squirts here and there.
That'll only be
But
tickling
yeah,
it.
yeah, but it's you can tell how the engine changes its tone once you start getting the rev range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, it'd scream after 5, eh?
Yeah, so these were rated at 290 horsepower
Yep.
at between 5,800 revs, RPMs,
Yeah.
at 290. They made the power at that rev range.
Well,
But
that's right, mate.
they've also had tests at closer to 7,000, just over they'll do in 400.
Far out,
So
mate.
yeah, so that's the thing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I think we've got a bit of traffic.
Yeah. How is it in the traffic? All right?
Yeah, I don't like driving this time of the day. If I take it out, which is very rare, I get up,
Early in the
6, 7, go for half an hour drive.
Yeah.
No stopping, no nothing, just bring it back and that's it, you know?
How does it handle the heat and all that?
Yeah, no,
in
it's
traffic?
like,
No problem, mate.
temperature's always good, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
have issue with temperature.
Man.
So now we're just cruising, I'm at 3,000 revs, and we're doing, you know, roughly 55, 30 miles. So we're not giving it nothing. It's
Of course, yeah.
just idling.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy drivers out there. I see them every day on the bus, so many near misses. If I didn't have the reflexes that I had, I'd be smashing every day with all these drivers, unfortunately. So trannies, brother, tell us a bit about the
Z28s
yeah,
only came out with Muncies, only 4-speed.
so no automatic transmission,
No
only
automatic.
manual.
Only manual.
Mate, listen to that sound. Ah, that's sick. I love the way the suspension feels. Again, you're in the race car.
That's these were heavy duty suspensions from factory.
Yeah, for the race
The
track.
Z28's only got the foil leaf springs. This first Z28 67 got the single leaf springs, so they use the tram blocks to keep it. All the other cars, big blocks, they use the 5 leaf springs.
The suspension does feel nice and nice and bouncy. Again, absorbing the bumps beautifully. No rattles and cracks and, you know, banging. It's just nice. Stiff, but nice. That sound is just insane. Mate, it just glides.
It just glides.
Glides,
We're not
There's no struggling.
We're
there's
not
nothing.
killing you. We're doing,
No.
you know, 4.5, a bit under 5,000 revs. Just, you know, just giving it a little bit of opening. That's all.
Yeah.
You know.
It's crazy, mate.
It loves up high, so it brings up the mile an hour comes up pretty quick. Put it that way.
That's crazy, man. So the full horsepower specs on these?
As I said, everything was underrated in the day because of insurance. They were going to kill off everything in the 60s, the mid-60s. So everything was rated low. When I rated this at 290, so did the boss, so did everything else. You know what I mean? They all stuck to the same.
Yeah.
So the boss 302 is rated at 290 as well. These were built, Chevrolet had got out of racing and Ford built the Mustang, and when Ford were doing racing with the Shelbys, they were winning on the racetrack and winning at the sales. So General Motors wanted to get back into the scene, and in order to save time, to build a motor from start, because TransAm racing is a 5 litre cap. Even till today they race 5 litres. They went back to the drawing board, they looked what all the parts department they had, or the performance parts, and they used back then the 327 block. The 67 was, and 68 was based on 327 blocks, and they used the 23 crank. So they got a 4-inch ball with a 3-inch stroke, and that's how they got the 5 litre, and they were homologated to go to racing. In the early races of 67, they had a couple of issues, so they were very competitive with the Shelbys, but they weren't finishing the races. By the end of the series, middle of the series, they started winning. In 68, the Shelbys had no chance. Out of the 30 races, they won 11. So, and then they've gone back to the drawing board Ford, and they decided to build the 351 Windsor, and they wanted to match this, so they ended up building what they called the Boss head at the time. So the Cleveland head, what we know now, was actually put on the Boss 302 motor before it went on the Cleveland.
Correct.
In 68, they were building the 351 Windsor, and then they, after they built 68, for 69 was the Windsor. In 70, they started getting the Cleveland. So that head went on to the Cleveland later. A lot of people think it's the other way around. So in 69, the Z28 won the TransAm championship again, so they built the Boss. In 70, they changed the rules, so you didn't buy a 302 on the street, you bought a 350 OT1, and then the drivers and some of the teams went to other manufacturers, so it was privateers racing in 70. So the Boss Mustang won in 1970, the TransAm series, yeah. So we're just cruising at 3,000 now, we're just, you know.
Beautiful, brother. What diff ratios are in the back?
They came out standard. These are 12 bolt posies.
Yeah. 12
bolt diffs. Posi was an option, this has got the Posi. And standard with 373 gears.
373?
You can order them all the way up to 488 gears.
Wow. This one's got the best of both worlds.
Oh, this was for, you wouldn't race them with the other gears on the racetrack, so you raced them with the 373s.
Yeah.
And this one's the Muncie, the M20 in this one. People confuse when they talk M20 and M21s. The American box, which is the Muncie, it's all aluminium case.
See.
The ones we use here on the 6-cylinder Tiranas and the 161s, that's a different box. So, although they call it M20, M21, they're two different boxes.
They would have been saving on weight too with that, eh?
Yeah, so they got the aluminium bell housing, the aluminium gearbox.
Mad.
But this one's the M20, so it's a wide ratio.
Yep.
The M21s were close, and the rock crusher that a lot of people talk about, even in the States, not a lot of cars had the rock crushers, which is the M22. And that's the rock crusher is because they had straight car gears. So unless you got a big whine in your diff, you won't have a rock crusher.
Right.
You know.
The identification telltale signs. See, listen to that, mate. Even you know when the revs drop, it just sounds beautiful, mate, to the ears. V8 sound, mate, you can't beat it. These nice candy.
Yeah, I've always loved the old cars. We got a my brothers. They've always had these old cars, American cars. We select our cars.
Yep.
And surprisingly, so we're hitting. I'm not sure, but I thought I'd just give it a bit because 100 kg. I thought I'd give it a little bit of a squeeze.
Mate, I went to say me set and I could only got the I'm telling you. It pulled me back in the seat.
Pushed you back up.
Oh, yeah, and it surprised me and I couldn't. The word got stuck and it didn't come out. Me set
and now really quick changing. We're not like on the racetrack. You stretch the gears. I'm not stretching the gears. You know.
Yeah, this will be screaming like a rotary, mate. Crazy, man. That's wild.
You don't need long liter fuel. We lost quite a tank already just in this drive.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's a factory 780 dual fed. So it's got power valve. It's got a front power valve and a rear one. So both bowls have got the power valve in them. So it's dual fed. Yeah.
She's thirsty, brother. She's thirsty, but it's fun, mate.
If you put your foot down, you don't really get far.
That's amazing, brother. Brother, tell us about the brake options on these things.
In order to get a Z28, they were standard disc brakes. Every other car, there was an option. So you can get big blocks that have drums front, drums rear. The Z28 was standard. It was mandatory you have front disc brakes. Mandatory with the 4-speed as well. And then there was another option on this, which was called the J08 option, which you can order with a 4-wheel disc. So you can have disc on all corners. Other than the Corvette at the time, that was the only American car that had 4-wheel disc in it. And the Camaro was the only other one you can option it with a 4-wheel disc.
Wow. That's incredible, brother. And how did it come about? What was the reason?
For the brakes?
Yeah.
For racing. They obviously are a lot better
homologation.
Yeah. And they had to obviously get there was 206 what do you call it, J08 options sold.
Yeah.
The option alone was 500 on that. So to get the Z28 option was almost the same price.
Right.
So it was an expensive option, and not everyone went for it back in the day.
Sick.
Yeah.
And brother, you've got a few more cars lined up, special ones, eh? We're going to do a bit of a series on all the cars.
There's a couple more. As I said, there's a lot of rare cars in Australia that came either dealer imported or private imported. Over the years we bought quite a few rare ones. We've got a few, in the family, brothers and cousins. If you want to do them, I'm happy to organise and do a feature on them as well if you want.
Mate, that'll be an honour, brother. That'll be an honour. So ladies and gents, stay tuned. We're going to have some more rare American muscle. It's going to be very, very interesting coming on the channel. Thanks to John over here. I've got a few beauties lined up, so stay tuned. Hey, sick stuff there. Mate, it's amazing the sound and the lumpiness that this car has, like at its stock, like
It's
factory. Yeah.
This in its day this competed with big blocks in its day.
Yeah.
When they done a little bit of like it wasn't built as a straight line car,
Yeah.
but with a little bit of gearing, slicks, exhaust system tuning.
Yeah.
There, what's it called, Hot Rod magazine back in the day got them down to 1301s.
Wow.
And Dave Strickler.
Yeah.
What they call he had a name for his car, the old reliable. He in '68 they won the world championship in the super stock. I think he pulled low 11s in it with a standard 382. But
wow!
Gearing, a lot of different tuning.
Yeah.
Slicks and exhaust system.
See, here in Australia we have the Phase 3, right, which is the legendary.
Yes.
But this is on another level, mate.
Again, we got a bit of a taste what America had because that engine came from the States.
Yeah.
They also had the what they call the Boss 351, which is a 4-bar main. The Phase 3 is a 2-bar main, which is what they call the I forgot the term for the crank that they got here. Yeah. But it's still a good motor. It's a beautiful. I had a Phase 2 many years ago. My brother had Phase 3. My other brother had Phase 1. We've had every single GT.
Wow.
But you know, I've had big block cars.
Yeah. But
there's a different feel with this car. It's just the way. It doesn't have a great deal of horsepower when people talk about 6, 7, 8,000 horsepower.
Yeah. Of
the
course.
amount of horsepower it's got, it's the way it delivers the horsepower that it just like it's a thrill. Like if you want to take it through, national park, something like that. Yeah. The enjoyment you get out of this compared to other cars is completely different.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. The Phase 3 stock, it didn't even sound like this. We'll have this sort of an idle.
Well, the Phase 3, again, like a lot of the big blocks, their legs are running out to a certain rev range. Yeah. This is starting to make
a lot lower. Yeah.
Once you hit 4.5, 5, that's when it starts to actually start making its power.
The cam kicks in.
Yeah. So it's a different engine, different setup.
Yep.
The Boss 302 again is for me it's a very potent car, but on the street it didn't perform as well. But when you set up for street, that's a very powerful car. It's it was built to rev up high. Both these cars were built that way. They had the TransAm Challengers and the AR Cooters. They were built for TransAm racing, but on the racetrack, like the Pontiac Transams, they also have 5-litre engines. The Pontiacs were using the 301s. They never had much success, so they end up most of those cars were actually racing 302s in them.
Right.
The Chevy 302 instead of 301. Same with the Chryslers. They had their ones and that on the street, but from 70 onwards, other than the Boss 302, the AR Cuda, the TransAm Challenger, you got what they had, the 346 packs. Very good street motor, very good engine, but that was a different engine a race, different what you got on the street. That's why I love my 60s, because like the Phase 3s, you bought what raced.
That's it. But look, mate, you've got a beautiful rear boost here. I love it, brother. Love everything about it.
I've been a custodian of this car now. My brother bought this car. He started to restore it, and then he saw a couple cars in New Zealand, and he goes to me, look, I don't have the funds, would you buy this car? I sold meantime a 1969 Ford 28 Quadrojet Cougar, and he goes to me, buy this, and I laughed and I said, mate, you haven't restored this car, it's still in pieces. Engine hasn't been rebuilt, you haven't done the gearbox, you haven't put the interior, you've only just painted it. And he goes, never mind, buy it off me and I'll finish it off for you. So my brother's finished everything on the car.
Oh man.
The only thing he didn't do at the time, back then he wasn't actually putting engines together.
Okay.
So Louis and our mate put it together. And like the bottom end, and we did all the top end and all that.
Mad.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. And there's the result.
That's the result. Yeah. And I've always been, people that know me have always had all original cars. Like my Cougar had crow's feet on it, but it was all original. I love them factory. So when this car was restored, I go, my brother, if you're going to do it, it has to be back to factory spec. Everything the way it came out. Yeah. And that's how we've done it.
The best.
I wanted it, since I got a Z28 in Australia, we never grew up with them in America, we never had them here. I want to know what it felt like. So, unless you build it back to factory, how you know what it feels like.
Exactly. True. Bravo, mate, you've done fantastic. Very, very impressive. I love it.
And again, they're not built for low speed. Yeah. These ran with, on the racetrack, these had the off-road cam. so it was a different cam than the street.
Yeah.
And also had the cross-ram carbies on it. So a cross-ram manifold with two 600 Hollies on it. That's how they raced.
Wow.
With this engine. But people could buy that over the counter as a general, not an option. It wasn't an option. It was a factory GM product, but it was a race product.
Right.
So you bought it over the counter, you put on your car. If you did that, you couldn't get warranty. So you get a lot of mixed.
Yeah.
I've got all the literature, I've got everything where if you avoid a warranty, and don't forget these things ran to 8,000 with warranty.
Jeez.
Okay, so with the cross rams they void it because this engine down low doesn't like it.
Yep.
Imagine now having two 600s, it was like a pig on the street
for sure,
and low
mate.
revs. But once you got it up, it was a different animal. Yeah, 100% different animal.
So John, tell me something else. Like I've got a little query.
Yes.
Here we had, you know, if you have the special cars like the Phase 3, we spoke about the Phase 3, there's the Phase 2s, there's the GTR XY1s.
Yes.
That have got high value in Australia.
Yes.
How's this in the States in value? Like
this is
like sought after and
put it this way. You know how the XY's here, everyone wants a copy XY, everyone's trying a fake an XY.
Yeah.
That's what this is in the States.
Right.
This is the most replicated car in America. Yeah, yeah.
And the originals, that'd be worth a lot, huh? Like
documented cars with there's people out there like Jerick McNeish and a couple others. I'm just trying to think of the names. People pay thousands for them to go inspect the cars to make sure they're legit.
The original.
They're legit, yeah. And those cars fetch big, you know, the proper money. You can buy them at prices from here all the way to here.
Yep.
But you know, if you don't know what you're looking for, like we've been, me and my brother, we've been on American cars after we got out of all the GTs, the HOs and all that, from mid-80s, we've been onto American cars. And our thing now with the computers, it's a little bit different with the internet, but back then anything came up, like this was advertised in the unique car back then in 2001.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
It was in WA. Mate, we organised straight away. We got all the details from the bloke. He sent us everything, sent us photos, what we wanted. These have hidden numbers. Like, give you an example, you can put a VIN number on there, and you can put a trim tag. People don't know, okay, yeah, it's got a X code on it, X77, X33. You got your VIN number, but there's production numbers for every month that was built. So you can't have an early production VIN with a late build date on the tag.
Right.
So a lot of things. Then you're going to match the VINs on the body. They're hidden on certain places.
Yeah.
My car's got my VIN on my gearbox, has got my VIN on my block.
Right.
But not only that, it's got date code when it was built. You got to have DZ on this for BO302. MO was for 68. Same with the gearbox. You got to be P for Muncie. You know, but straight away it's an aluminium box. But they got early ones too. You know, whereas here you got a GT. You blow a gearbox, you go buy another top loader, you put it in there. You know, in order to get these money, you got to have everything the way it came out, what belongs to it. You know, if you open the door, you got date codes on your hinges.
Wow.
You know, so the American cars, all panels with part number, date coded.
Yeah.
Your pulleys, radiators, a lot of stuff. And I've helped a lot of people in the past where they want to look at rare cars. Same as my brother, dealers call us sometimes. We check whether it's a Ford, whether it's a Mustang or Shelby, you know, whether it's a Hemi car, whatever. We've dedicated our time just to try and help people.
That's fantastic.
But again, that's one of the reasons. You know, I hesitated at the start. I thought, do I show it, don't I show it? From a couple of years when you saw me at Elwood.
Correct.
And then I thought, I've been thinking about it, I thought, you know, it's
Let's
good to educate some people.
That's what I was...
if you mentioned, because I mentioned some cars, you go, do you want to do that before you ask me?
Yep.
Happy to do that if you want more of it.
Mate,
you know?
I do, because I think, like, there's a lot of cars from the States, like, we don't know, like, we know about the Australian history, right? But looking at the American history and finding their special cars as well,
correct,
is good education.
Correct.
I think it's
correct.
good for the muscle car enthusiasts, you know, to get more acquainted with these cars. And now, thanks to you, and I'm glad I met you, brother, we've got a chance to do that for the viewers.
Yeah, look, people that are in the sport, they like to hear, because it's different, like reading something in a book and seeing a picture is a little bit different. Now you got to experience a little bit what this is about.
Exactly.
You wouldn't get that experience reading a book. You know, if you were looking at these type of cars,
no
you know, a lot of
way,
people
mate.
don't know about them. It's just a Camaro, like you see Corvettes. There's a lot of different versions of Corvettes that people don't know about. Same with the Mustangs, same with the Chryslers, you know, Chevelles, everything. They have the top ones built for specific, and yeah.
So, mate, I'm going to take you up on the offer with all the other cars. I'm very, very interested, and I'm sure my viewers will be interested to learn about these beasts. And it's very enjoyable, brother. Mate, I noticed this beauty over here. That's a sick-looking car too. What's this, mate? That's a Cuda.
That's a Plymouth Cuda, 1970.
Yep.
This was my brother's car. We bought it back in the late 80s. Again, as I said, we bought it from Melbourne, 446 pack. Mirror image conversion. The guy had spent back then, a guy from South Australia had spent at the time 100,000 restoring it, and we bought off the guy from Melbourne. We brought it here, we sold it to a guy in Wollongong, came back to us, and then we sold it back to the guy that sold it to us in Melbourne.
That's a freaky story, eh?
Yeah.
Get it from that angle. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a sick looking car too, brother. Oh, that's the phase 2.
That's the phase 2, the true blue. The only.
Sick.
That's when I had it.
How long ago was that, roughly?
This one here, I bought it in 87.
Okay.
87, yeah.
And sold it in?
I sold it in 91 because I had sleepless nights. Up until then, we had a shop. I used to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And get home at about 9:30, 10. Yeah, couldn't sleep. Every time we had noises, we always used to run out with baseball bats at night.
Oh, mate, tell me about it, eh?
Yeah, so there's just a couple. There's the Cougar. That was a 440. That was a 428 Cobra Jet.
Beautiful.
There's another car. So just a few cars, just to let you know, we've been in the scene for a very long time.
Yeah, that's why you know all the history and the specs and all about it, all this fantastic information.
The XBs, like we've owned every single GT. That within the
Wow.
Corvettes, Mustangs.
Out of the GT, which would be your favourite, do you think?
For me, it was a phase 2.
Yep.
For me, I think it was a more harder car to drive on the street. The phase 3 was a little bit more refined. It did get the benefit of the extractor, which helped it breathe better.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, had the phase 2 had extractors, I think, yeah, I think it was a more harder car to drive on the street.
Right.
It was the phase 2.
Good info, brother. Good info. Nice to know from people that have owned those beasts, mate. First-hand experience.
Yeah, they're all good. I love them all. I don't mind having another one if I can afford one. If I can afford one now.
That's it.
But yeah, no, they're all good. It's you know, our sport, our sport is good. People that are interested in these cars, and yeah, as long as we can keep it alive, that's the main thing. That's the whole purpose of the thing, you know. And knowledge is power. And
What
if
else?
you've got power, you know what you're looking at.
Perfect. And I'd like to thank you very, very much for taking the time to come on the channel, show us your car, take us for the drive, and give us all this fantastic information, mate. I thank you very, very much, and look forward to the next car.
George, you're welcome. And like I said, happy to do so. You know.
No worries, brother.
Yeah, we'll be seeing each other.
Yep, we'll see you in the next one, bro.
We'll do.
Okay.
Thank you, George.
Done, brother. Thank
Done.
you.
Thank you.